Hey everyone, DPX here, and today is a bit of a different type of a review. I have been playing the new PlayStation Plus for a few days now, getting the premium tier and trying out many of the PS1, 2, 3, P, 4, and 5 games. And today I'll be going over each aspect of this, of the extension of the service, and we'll see if it is worth it. So without further ado, let's get into it. But before we get started, you know what to do. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, or I will extend your arms. As in, stretch your arms out to the point where they, rip off. So, subscribe, because that would be very painful.
I'd like to thank the ammo god for these blessings.
One major get with the PS Plus Extra and Premium tiers is the free PS4 and PS5 games at display. You can access this through PS Plus Extra, and it pretty much becomes a lighter version of Xbox Game Pass, but for PlayStation. And I'd say this is pretty solid for people who say they skipped the PS4 and are now just getting a PS5. Somehow, you get a lot of quality titles here, and in the case of the PS5 games, you get games like Demon's Souls, Miles Morales, Death Stranding, Director's Cut, and Returnal, all for free. Two of those games are $50, two of them are $70, and you can get all of them for free. That is fucking awesome. Not to mention, while this service isn't getting all day one releases like Game Pass has, the upcoming game Stray, which looks amazing, was something I was definitely just gonna pay for anyways, will be dropping on PS Plus Extra and Premium day one. That's really cool. I would honestly say that you get the most bang for your buck with the PS4 and PS5 games. These are some really high quality titles, and Balan Wonderworld, and Mighty No. 9, and some others that are kind of shit, but most of these games are very high quality titles that if you haven't bought them yet, now you can get them all for free. And I know I'll be getting Demon's Souls, because that is one PS5 exclusive I don't have yet. The PS4 and PS5 games, and even games like Stray dropping for free day one, that is all accessible through the Extra tier. However, if you upgrade to PS Plus Premium, you get access to many PS1 games, many PS2 games, and many PSP games. I'm sorry, I mean just one PSP game. And is that one PSP game Super Stardust Portable? You know, the one that was announced? Weirdly enough, I can't find it anywhere, but at least Echochrome is here. Yeah, Echochrome is a weird game to be the one and only PSP game, but I'm sure they'll add more. I don't know what happened to Super Stardust Portable, at least at the time of recording. I can't find that anywhere on here. I'd say that the selection of PS1 and PS2 games are decent, although there is a lot of Jak and Daxter for PS2, and the PS1 is mainly missing the games that made the console so popular. I understand that most of the games I'm thinking of are third parties, so it would be just easier to add games like Metal Gear Solid or Final Fantasy VII later on, but I don't think Sony really realizes that nobody really remembers Wild Arms or Jumping Flash. I'm not even calling those games bad, but I just haven't heard many people nostalgic for these games. It is nice to see Ape Escape, Siphon Filter, Tekken 2, and Intelligent Cube all here, and Toy Story 2 and Resident Evil Director's Cut were both pleasant surprises. However, and this isn't really a problem with these games, but rather just the time they were made in, but I don't think any of these games have really aged all that well. Again, these games came out at a time where gaming was just moving into 3D, but it shows. Also, it is worth noting that the games thankfully run at 60 Hz as opposed to 50, so they run a lot better. There was a huge worry, and it was also kind of leaked that they were going to run at 50 Hz. Personally, this is all jargon to me. I don't really care too much about frame rates, but if it's noticeable, then it becomes an issue. but luckily, they're fine. As for PS2 games, definitely a weaker selection, although it is great to see some love for Jak and Daxter. The thing is though, the PS2 has an insane catalog of games, and a great part of that is Jak and Daxter, and while the Red Faction games, Ape Escape 2, and the Dark Cloud games are all great additions to the PS2 library, and War of the Monsters is a solid hidden gem that they threw in here, there are a lot of very odd PS2 games here. We all like Star Wars games, but there are 3 of them here, and none of them are really that good, if I'm gonna be honest. I know we'll be getting more PS1, PS2, and PSP games down the line, but if you are on the fence about the premium tier, I can't really see the PS1, 2, and P games really changing your mind yet.
My arch nemesis. Not so smart now, are you?
Sir, the Zoni are inquiring about our progress.
But with the premium tier, you don't just get PS1, PS2, and PSP games, you also get PS3 games. The addition of PS3 games sounds really exciting, but there is one major issue. And that is that these are all cloud versions of these games. In case you're unsure, when a game is on the cloud, that means you're streaming it. You don't actually have it downloaded on your console, you're streaming it, and you're using internet in order to play it. I understand that the PS3 is incredibly difficult to emulate, so it's just easier to stream them via the cloud, but you can at least just port over some of these PS3 games available here. I understand this is a way to combine PS Now with PS Plus, and all these streamable games for the PS3 were on PS Now, but I would honestly prefer maybe 10, maybe even less. 10 might be pushing it, but I wrote 10 PS3 games ported natively, then all these PS3 games only playable through the cloud. If your internet is having issues or is just not that good, it'll be rough playing these games. Not to mention, my capture card doesn't work with the PS5, so usually I record PS5 games with the share functionality. And the cloud games don't allow you to use the share button. So I've had to use gameplay from other YouTubers that I've credited in this video because I give credit to them. I'm a good person. That's not the biggest deal breaker or anything, but it's just an annoyance. You know, I just fucking hate that. But I just can't get behind it when they say PS3 games are coming to PS Plus, only for it to be cloud versions. It makes some sense for not all these games being here natively, but I really hope as Sony updates this service and adds more games from the PS1, PS2, and PSP, they add some native versions of PS3 games, because I'm sure, again, the PS3 is a hard system to emulate, I get that, but I'm sure you can do some of these games natively. So I'm going to keep this one short. With the premium tier, you not only get games from the PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP, but you also get access to trials of games. While that's cool for people who might be on the fence for games like Horizon Forbidden West, Cyberpunk, or WWE 2K22, I've already played all 3 of those games, and I'm sure many people who were interested in those games have already played them. But it is a nice feature. You know, it's nice to offer. I appreciate giving the option to maybe try out some of these games for a little bit, but as someone who just buys games most likely, and especially since all these games are already out and I've already made my decision on whether or not I want to play them, this doesn't really do anything for me. But that's just me. As we've seen, the new PS Plus tiers are pretty solid. This is really cool for people that maybe miss the PS4 and maybe just being lucky getting a PS5. The extra tier should be really good for you if that was the case. As for the premium tier, if you don't really care too awfully much about the PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP games, or at least you don't care about the ones that are there right now, maybe wait, because I'm sure we'll be getting many cool games from those consoles that are native in the future. And as for the PS3, I really hope we see some native ports, because I actually did not really play the PS3. So a lot of the games on there I really haven't played, and I just don't want to play cloud versions of them. And even if you want a PS1 game, but you don't want to subscribe to the new service, you can just buy them for $10 a pop, which I'd say is pretty cool. Usually I give a score to a game, DLC, movie, or a show in these reviews, but these are just 2 extra tiers for a subscription service, so it's a little harder to give them like a number score out of 10, if you know what I mean. So instead of doing that, I'm just gonna say that the new PS Plus gets the DPX stamp of approval. Although I'm more so talking about the extra tier, you can maybe wait on the premium tier until there are some better PS1, PS2, and PSP games. So that was my review for the new PS Plus. A bit of a different type of review. I don't usually review services like this. I reviewed the Nintendo Switch Online service when that first launched, and even then, that was I wasn't really. It's not that good of a video, if I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this was almost like a guide to help you decide whether or not you should upgrade to the new PS Plus or not. If so, leave a like and let me know. Anyways, be sure to come subscribe, or I will extend your arms and rip them off. Bye, guys!